So I should be joined by Mrs. Contrarian shortly. We are going to talk about her journey through Indochina. Hey, hey,
Hey,
can you hear me?
yeah.
Oh, neighbor has chickens.
Hmm?
A neighbor has chickens.
Our neighbor here.
Oh. Which ones?
To the left unit.
The place that I want is it still for sale?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're renting it out now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, so the original owners still own it, or is it the realty company?
The owner, original owner, still owns it.
Oh, so they still owned it. I thought they were. So the original
Yeah, they
owners
own it.
still own it, but they
They're
want to
selling
sell
it.
it.
Originally, yeah.
Oh, I'm I'm thinking they. Okay, I get it. I'm thinking. I was thinking they sold it back to the like
No.
they sold it to I don't know that it was like I don't know like a short sale or something like that. Hey Asia, how are you? But
I.
let's talk about the trip because of everything that just happened yesterday. So
Yeah.
we were I don't know how much you were watching this on the news. I haven't watched it on the news. I've just been seeing it on the internet news, like ABS, CBN, um, and a few other news sources. And so as I checked early this afternoon, you know, Eastern Standard Time, it was like 1,644 casualties, like over 2,400 injured. And I was telling you I was scared for the tour guide that you had because the epicenter was right near Began. Is that how you say it, Began?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was right near Began. And the stuff I saw online, a lot of those historic temples have been destroyed. So I don't know if there were places that you visited or not.
No, it's Mandalay is like, well, again, it's inside Mandalay, but it's like 5 hours from the city of Mandalay.
Uh, well, yeah. So Mandalay is both a city and a province, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were saying that it wrecked the whole province because you understand it was a 7.7 earthquake. It didn't just mess with Burma. It left devastation in Thailand,
Thailand,
India,
yeah.
Bangladesh,
Laos.
Laos, and China. That's how far reaching it was. And then a half an hour late, and then there was aftershocks with left destruction. Um, and then there was a half an hour later, there was another earthquake in Indonesia
Yeah,
that hit the Philippines and
heard about that.
Indonesia. That's what I was telling you. I was like, that's not the same earthquake because you thought I was talking about the same earthquake, but it was a completely different earthquake that happened a half an hour later. What's up, Carlton? But yeah, I was like, oh my god, like it looked like it was just uh, like a whole hour of just destruction out there. That's why I was
Yeah,
asking you, did you feel anything from? So no,
no. Well, luckily, it didn't hit like Manila or Luzon in general.
for once, right? Because Manila had a
Yeah.
series of earthquakes too.
Hmm.
So so tell me about the trip because we never got to talk about it in depth. So I was like, we should just put it on my channel and talk about it because it would be more entertaining that way.
Okay.
All right. So you can start with I don't know if you want to start from like when you left from the Philippines or
Okay. Yeah, well, as you know, it's been on um my uh bucket list for years, like ever since um I got into traveling and I wanted to
yeah,
do
because
it
we had
solo.
set it up for you back in. Remember, we had set this up for you back in 2020.
Yeah, I had my tickets booked in 2020 and then COVID happened. So we got rescheduled, and then I just um got tired of rescheduling. I canceled it altogether. Um,
So what? Well, what happened with those original tickets? Did you eventually
I
get
got refunded.
or
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, I got them refunded like after several reschedules within 2020 and 2021.
Well, it wasn't your fault because the pandemic kept extending. Because remember, they were saying it
Yeah.
was only going to be like 2 or 3 months originally.
Hmm.
The only great thing about that time was like every streaming service like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime, all of them were giving like a free month of service, telling everyone, "Hey, don't stay inside, don't go outside to spread the infection. Everyone stay inside." Look, even Pornhub gave a free membership for a month. Stay inside. Oh, okay, I'll stay inside.
I didn't
Come
know
outside
that.
with one arm. Come outside with one arm bigger than the other, but whatever. And yes, Chad, I'm serious. Like Pornhub and they give like a free like
Oh,
30 like a free 60-day membership. So people came outside looking like they were fighting. Let me stop. Go with the truth.
I was try not to. I mean, I was trying to clicking on something and it took me to green screen. I can't undo it.
Oh, you can't undo. It's fine. I don't ever play with them because I don't know what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
oh look, I got my watch back.
Oh, okay.
I've been had this one, but I kept buying replacement bands, and I was like, why keep buying replacement bands when I have a backup watch? I was like, why don't I just use the backup watch because the battery finally died. So I was like, it doesn't make any sense to buy a new band and new batteries when I already have a backup watch that I've had for the last 5 years. So,
Yeah.
it's
So,
my favorite watch.
um, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say. So after multiple uh, reschedules, and then I just canceled it altogether and got it refunded in 21. Um, and in 22, I don't know. I didn't book it for 2022 because I didn't want to go through all the hassle, the vaccines, the tests, and all
Because
that. So I
2022, they
thought,
was still, we was like, even though the pandemic was over,
yeah,
they was still being cautionary about it.
yeah, right. And I didn't want all that hassle, especially that I was going to multiple countries. Um, and so I booked it for 23 for March or February, March 2023. Um, oh no, wait, 2025. No, I booked it for 2024 last year.
Mm.
So I normally book like promo flights. I did it. So no, I can't undo that. I
Mine
don't
I
know
can
how
turn
to
off.
undo it.
I just hit the X button. I mean, not the X, but the little bar, the little button with the cross through it and the circle. You just hit that and it gets rid of.
I know. I know not that screen.
Uh, might need to upgrade, but yeah. So
Yeah, so anyway, I booked it for last year And and I was saying, I book my trips like months in advance because I do promo flights, the seat sales, and like a few weeks after I booked my flight for March of last year, Taylor Swift announced her tour, and I got tickets for the Eras tour in Singapore,
Wait, did we
and
ever talk about your Singapore trip?
you know,
Oh, well, if you want to talk about that real quick. Now
well, it
that
was
I
fun. It
wanted to
was
do that.
great.
I didn't want to go see Taylor, but I was gonna let y'all go see Taylor, and then I would have just wandered around Singapore, since there was so much stuff to do.
Yeah, it's a nice city.
Yeah, it's actually a nation. It's a
Yeah.
city and a nation at the same time, but it's smaller than Metro Manila.
Mhm. So yeah, so I had my Vietnam tickets booked for March of last year,
Thank you,
and
Carlton. I appreciate it, brother. He just gave me a super chat.
thank you. And the Eras tour dates in Singapore, like coincidentally, they were in March of last year, same dates as my Indochina trip. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
since my
right. Because I forgot about that. So your Singapore trip was originally scheduled around the time you were going to do the Indochina trip.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now. I forgot about that until now.
Mm. Yeah, so I had the Indochina trip flights booked first, and then Airstore was announced, and so I had to cancel the Indochina trip. Um, so yeah, we stayed in Singapore for like a week.
Right.
Um,
So they talk about Taylor Swift fans. You're not a Taylor Swift fan unless you literally fly to another country just to see a Taylor Swift concert. That's how you know you're a Swiftie. She and her friends literally flew from the Singapore just to see Taylor Swift and stayed in that country for a week. A week to see a Taylor Swift concert for what? 1 day or 2 days?
for a
At least say it
day,
was 2 days, right?
we traveled around.
Like I'm a huge fan of some people. Well, most of them passed away. Who were my biggest artists, but I don't think I don't know. I don't see myself traveling all the way to another country and staying there for an entire week just to go see Biggie or or Michael Jackson. Like, and I'm huge fans of both of
Well,
them, but I don't know. I think uh,
we stayed there for a week because we wanted to, travel and explore Singapore and Malaysia. We flew out of Kuala Lumpur.
tell them about those cheap eating places. Like, there's a place that you can go, like those places, like where you can go eat a whole bunch of food for like $3.50.
Yeah, so they have like what they call hawker centers. Um, they're all over Singapore, and yeah, so they have different kinds of food. They're a lot cheaper than regular or traditional restaurants. And food is so good.
And guys, in case you wonder, Singapore is the safest country in the world, so it's a really good place to visit. You don't have to worry about any pookies or any hyenas messing around over there. Like, people get dealt with. Like, y'all remember what happened to that American kid that did something stupid long time ago, and the Singapore government reached out to the U.S. embassy, and the U.S. embassy is like, "No, no, go ahead, punish him." And they caned him in front of everybody. Like, they took cane to ass, and Singapore doesn't play. So, but it makes it a really safe country to visit. It's really nice. Like, so if anyone's apprehensive, like, I mean, Singapore is more of a pricier place to go to compared to most other Southeast nations, Southeast Asian countries, but really friendly. So, because remember, I was going to
Yeah.
take us there on our first year anniversary, and I decided to do Bali instead, just because I thought Bali would be more exciting. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
350
mean,
Carlton, like at they call hawker centers, HAWKER. They're like these, I want to say
like food
sort of like an
courts.
all you can eat or huh?
No, they're not all you can eat. They're like food courts. So,
Not yet.
um, inside a hawker center, there are several different uh kiosks that sell food, different kinds of food like Indian, Chinese,
Malai.
um, yeah, halal, everything.
Yeah, so yeah, Carlton, you should definitely visit Asia. Asia is not expensive. Like a lot of people think it's expensive to go to Asia. It's really not. I've seen more people pay. I've seen people pay more money for an outfit for the weekend than that it is to go overseas. Like people where I used to work call center. I didn't make that much money, but people in the call center be like, "Man, how you afford to travel all the time?" I was like, "Easily." I was like, "I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a car note, or car insurance, obviously, and I don't blow my bag every paycheck on a bunch of clothes and on weed and coochie." So that's how I'm able to travel. And they was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Oh, it's really not like, guys, you can fly to the Philippines for like $700. Seriously, you just gotta know how to book a trip. That's all. And if people want tips, I can do that one day. Like me and Mrs. Contrarian can get on here again another day and show you guys how to book cheap trips. She's the master at it. She taught me. So, but anyway, continue.
Um, yeah, so Arizona, and then we flew out of Kuala Lumpur. Um, but I must say,
Did you,
yeah,
did you
so
go
you
back
can
to the Twin
find
Tower?
our hotel is like right, you can see it from the hotel room, but we didn't go back there.
Uh, yeah. So when we go back, I want to go inside this time because it was closed when we went, so we couldn't go
Yeah,
inside.
it was midnight. Yeah,
Was
so
it midnight when we were there?
yeah,
It was midnight when we hit Chinatown, but I thought it was like earlier when we got downtown in
it
Kuala
was
Lumpur.
close to midnight, and the
But it was a
Chinatown
ton of
stores
people out.
were closing.
It was a ton of people outside though. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was so late. It was a lot of people out there.
Yeah, it was. I think it was almost midnight. Because they turn out the lights at Petronas Towers at midnight.
Uh, well, then yeah,
Um,
it wasn't midnight because the lights were still up when we first got there to the Petronas Towers.
yeah, but it was late, probably around 11 ish.
So you were traveling with with your bestie, right?
Yeah,
Was it both of them or just one of them?
no, one of them, Patty, and then her work friend.
Yeah, I don't want her to get mad because I do get the both of them confused sometimes. What's up, just a dude? I get Patty confused with Faye sometimes.
Mm,
I guess because you hang out with both of them, so I
yeah.
I didn't realize I didn't realize which one was which. But at least I figured it out, so I had them, you know, come to your surprise birthday party last year. You wasn't expecting that, even though me and your sister had to control your family because they almost like ruined the surprise so many times. She even messaged me. She was like, "Kuya," she's like, "My family like keep almost letting out about the birthday surprise because she said they keep staring at each other at dinner anytime somebody mentions Jollibee or chicken or something like that, and they keep looking at each other all hard. I was like, sis, you gotta stop them. I was like, don't let them ruin the surprise. She's like, I'm trying. So she was laughing. I think she said, especially your mom. I think was probably the worst. I believe it. I guess, but she said they kept looking at each other every time somebody said something like Jollibee or something like that. I could imagine it. But yeah, they almost ruined the surprise. And like, luckily I reached out to Faye and I wasn't even sure who Faye was. I'd never seen her on your thing before. I I literally like guessed that was her when I saw the profile. I had to get. I was guessing that was her. I didn't really know that was her. Seriously, I was guessing. I didn't really know that was her when I messaged her because your sister didn't know either. She was because she was helping me, like reach out to people, and
Yeah.
she contacted your other family members who came and stuff like that. I was glad Joanne came because I didn't know she was. I didn't even know she was in the country. I thought she was still living, in
Mm.
Laos. She's also, sad about what happened with the earthquake because she has a lot of friends over there in Laos and I think in Burma.
Yeah, I saw her post too.
Yeah. But yeah, so so the concert was only for one day, but you hung out for the entire week in Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for some reason when you went to Indochina, I kept thinking that you had to go through Singapore to get there for some. I don't know why I kept thinking that. Maybe because a previous trip took you to Singapore. Was it one of the previous trips did you book went through Singapore? Is that why I was thinking that? Did the one you booked
Maybe.
several years ago, did that one go through Singapore? Is that why I kept
I don't
thinking?
know. It was
Um,
it was applied to Vietnam, but
uh,
you could do the Singapore entry, and then you can take a bus
yeah, because I
from
remember we
Singapore
had to talk
to
about it because
Thailand, Malaysia, and then Thailand.
yeah, I was like, I know we had to talk about it because that would be the only reason I would have thought that you would have went through um through Singapore to get there.
Ah,
So
yeah, I think I brought it up once, like because I was like on the plan. I was on the doing the planning first, but had not booked any flights yet at the time. And I remember, I think I told you, like, what if I do, since I hadn't gone to Singapore then, what if I do Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and then do the rest of the Indochina countries?
So I think you should describe to everyone what Indochina is, because Americans aren't great at geography, so they might not know what Indochina actually is. So you can describe what Indochina actually is.
Um, well,
I mean,
Indochina,
I
most of it
know,
is,
unless you want me to tell them.
you can do it.
Well, you already about to.
Well, I don't know. Um,
So
Indochina, it's mainly like Southeast Asian countries. Um,
right, so let okay.
go ahead.
So guys, so Southeast Asia is a very broad geographic region, and you have maritime Southeast Asia, and you have um, the the Southeast Asia that's like landlocked. So the maritime part of Southeast Asia are the places like the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, right? Those did I miss one? I think that's all of them. Oh, and East Timor. Those are all maritime parts of Southeast Asia. The landlocked part of Southeast Asia is what's referred to as Indochina. That is Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Burma, aka Myanmar. Um, and did I miss one? I think that's yeah. So you had those. So you had those five. So you had those five landlocked countries, and they call it Indochina because it's literally between India and China. So that's why it's called the Indochina region, because this makes up the whole region between India and China. Whereas all the maritime nations are the ones that are island nations, like in Indonesian country, which is an archipelago of hundreds of islands. The Philippines is like thousands of islands. Um, East Timor, which used to be once part of Indonesia. Singapore, which is a city state, and Malaysia, Brunei. I don't think a lot of people know about Brunei, um, but those and they're all similar because in ancient history they were all part of the Hindu Empire, which is why you'll see a lot of um, Indian relics throughout Southeast Asia and a lot of Buddhism as well. Even in the Philippines, if you go to certain, she can tell you, there are certain parts of the Philippines you can see relics of like Hindu stuff, right? In different parts of the Philippines. But anyway, so I with all that being said, now you can describe the trip.
Yeah, so I had to cancel my Indochina trip last year, and it's funny because while I was in Singapore, um, our local airline company, Cebu Pacific, they had a seat sale for like the first quarter of this year, 2025. So I was just, I wasn't planning on booking anything. So I just browsed flights, and um, it just so happened that Vietnam flights were on sale.
Oh, she's
So
notorious for finding seat sales, guys. I don't know how she does it. I don't know if that's online or she got a sixth sense. I don't know. Or if it's a Philippine airline thing. I don't know how you find these seat sales. I've never seen that here, but I don't peruse like airline websites like that. Maybe I should.
well, I'm subscribed to the airline's announcements. So I got notification on Facebook, on email.
So
Um,
should I sign up for like the airline? Like, do the airlines have a thing that you can sign up for? Do they send out emails and notifications? Is that what I should do so I can get stuff like that from Delta? Or I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't deal with Delta right now because I don't know if you know about the
yeah, but
controversy, but
I don't know if American airline companies, have the seat sales like we do.
yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think so. Like over here, always hear people just bragging about using their
Points, miles.
yeah, their points exactly. But they do have certain things here, like you go here and like they'll have a lounge just for like veterans and stuff like that, or they have a lounge just for like um the I was about to say high mile club. That's not that's not what I meant. Like the frequent flyer. They'll have like a lounge just for like the frequent flyers, or they have like a lounge just for veterans and stuff like that. So they do have certain perks here.
Yeah,
Do they have that? Do they have that there? Like
yeah. We
at
do have the lounges here.
okay, but for an American veteran, I guess they wouldn't really have anything, would they? No,
No, I don't think so.
maybe frequent flyer though.
hmm
Okay.
And certain types of credit cards, like if you have platinum card, you'd have a free pass to the lounges.
Oh, so so yeah, so how long? So your first stop was Vietnam, right?
Yeah,
How how long did it take from the Philippines to Vietnam?
so just under 3 hours.
Did you get a meal?
No.
That's for every place. They, I think they gave us a meal even from when we went from Thailand back to the Philippines. I think we got a meal, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, I think they give it out for flights over 4 hours. I'm not sure, but
I've
I
heard
think
this
that's the case.
because I heard it was like any international flight they offer a meal. You know, it
Not
has to be
for
a certain
budget
amount of
airlines.
hours. Because from Japan to Philippines, that wasn't far, and they offered a meal on that one.
Yeah, and even when I flew from Bangkok to um, Myanmar, we had a meal, and it was just like an hour flight.
See, Captain Red Cross is my dad used to live in Thailand. What part of Thailand, if you can remember? All right, so go on.
Yeah, so it was a my flight from Bangkok to um, Myanmar was through Myanmar Airlines. So I think
Mm.
budget airlines that give you meals for under a certain number, a certain length of trip.
So when you got to Vietnam, what did you do when you got there? Once you when you first got overseas from the Philippines.
Yeah, so I flew to Hanoi. That's the northernmost area of Vietnam, and it was cold. It's
Hanoi
like
was
the
cold.
yeah, because I
Well,
went
cold
in
for you, cold, right?
February. Well, it was I don't know, it was cold. Like everyone was wearing um the puff jackets, the down jackets.
But was everyone from like Southeast
Yeah, I think.
Asia? What y'all consider cold? I don't, like y'all consider 60 degrees cold. 60, Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I don't know what that is in Celsius.
I used to be able to like do that right in my head. I could just divide, but 60 degrees Celsius. I mean, 60 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius would be so 30. So 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah,
So uh,
I mean,
so it's
20s.
so it's like 40 something. Carlton says like 40 something.
No, I don't think so. Not 40 Celsius.
I think it's low. I
That's
think it's
hot.
lower than that. Like 30. Like 30.
No, I'm guessing it would be in the 20s or like 16,
Yeah,
17.
yeah. Like that's cold for you though.
Yeah.
Like when we were in Rizal, I didn't even find it cold. You were freezing in Antipolo.
Yeah.
I mean, so what did you do when you got there? Like what
Yeah, so I checked out the Michelin star uh place. I had bancha. So it's like these rice noodles with you can pick um the type of meat that you would have in it. So they have the chicken or grilled pork. They have
I've
the
had
sides.
bun chai here, but I haven't had like authentic bun chai yet. Like I've had like Vietnamese American like bun chai, but for me it only counts if you know how I am. Like it only counts if I actually ate it in that country. So like pad thai, like actually having pad thai in Thailand. So now when I eat it here, I'm just like, eh. Same thing with ramen, like eating it in Tokyo. Like I feel like Naruto, like eating my eating my bowl of uh ramen in Tokyo in the actual ramen shop. I was like, you can't tell me nothing now, like, because people here like they think ramen is like a meal for like people who don't have money, and so now when I eat ramen, I'm like, man, I ate ramen in Tokyo. What can you say? You ate hot dogs in New York? Like what? So,
I'm a lit.
Kevin says, I feel like I'm eavesdropping on a FaceTime call. He said, happy to see you both. Thanks, man. So he's in Bangkok, so he got the effects of the earthquake too.
I hope you
So
and
I the
your
first thing I
stuff.
did yesterday, I checked. The first thing I did when I found out about the earthquake, I messaged him to make sure he and his wifey was okay because he's in Bangkok. It hit. They felt it in
Yeah,
Bangkok.
I think I
That's
haven't
why
told
I
you
didn't
yet.
even know it originally.
My
Huh?
my Myanmar. I think I haven't told you yet. My Myanmar tour guide just messaged me back. Um,
Oh God, good.
yeah, so she lives in Big N, right? Because that's where she toured me. Um, and she went to Mandalay City on the day the earthquake happened um, to go see a doctor. Um, yeah, so she said the clinic was on the first floor of a seven-story building,
Yeah, I saw that on
and
the news. Like there was a nurse sitting there holding newborn babies as the earthquake was like shaking, and she's trying to hold on to these babies during the earthquake. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, yeah, that
yeah, so she was at the doctor's office when the earthquake happened, and she said, um, so she the ceiling of the clinic just fell down, and everyone around her was bleeding. And good
oh my
thing
god,
that they got rescued right away. And well, she's fine. I'm glad she's not, injured or anything. Um, but uh, since she had nowhere to go in Mandalay City, she didn't know anyone there. She had to go back home. But instead of a one bus trip, she had to take like three buses, different bus trips, because some of the roads and bridges had collapsed.
yeah. Yeah, when she didn't hit you back right away, I was hoping that it was just a matter of she couldn't communicate at the time. So good.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, if she needs anything, tell her let us know, and I can you know connect with some friends because I'm gonna go back to my campus in a few weeks for our our annual Maryland Day. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like stuff, provisions for that sort of stuff. So if if they need anything, tell her let me know, and I'll reach out to those groups.
Okay.
But yeah, so you went. So I remember you telling me that. So when you went to Hanoi, the first thing you did was you went to go eat at the because you didn't get food coming from the Philippines, so you got the buncha. And
Yeah,
where
so
how long were you in Hanoi?
I only had a few hours, like at least 6 hours in Hanoi. Um, because I had to take the overnight bus going to Laos. So I arrived like 8 a.m., past 8 a.m. And then, and I was hungry. So yeah, I checked out the buncha place first, and then I had coffee at train street,
The what?
the train street. The video I sent to you of the train passing.
Oh, where oh, you're right.
Yeah, so they call it the train street. So it's a um, railway street with different cafes on both sides.
Like a
So
bunch of
people would,
backpackers out there.
yeah.
That's where
So
you befriended those girls at the where you on the
no,
train.
no, I met
Oh,
them at the um uh bus stop.
oh, and you were the only were you the only Asian one out of the group?
Mm, well, there were two Israeli girls.
Okay, and I thought it was some Europeans as well.
Yeah, Aussie European. So so had coffee at the chains at a cafe there in Train Street and waited for the train to pass, and then I took the video. And after that, I had booked a room as well. Uh, Hotels in Vietnam are cheap. So I booked a room for, I left my bags and took a shower before
Yeah,
I went out exploring.
people think the Philippines and Thailand are cheap. They don't have any idea how cheap Vietnam and Laos are.
Yeah.
Like guys, the Vietnamese banknote, it's called the dong, and I'm not trying to be funny. That's what it's called, the Vietnamese dong. It is like point zero 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 one of a dollar. Like that's like its current value. Like there's there's a very low cost of living in Vietnam. You just gotta look past, some of their. As long as you are able to look past their politics, it can be a good place for an expat. Very cheap.
Yeah. Alton is asking, is it that place where the cafes are inches away from the train tracks? Yes.
Oh, so he didn't even know that.
You you got cut out for a bit there. What was your question? Yes.
Trains passing by, so he's like shaking and
Yeah, only when the train passes by. It um I think the schedules are like every an hour or so, like once every hour, an hour and a half. Yep. Yep. Oh, and at that I tried their coconut coffee there at that cafe by the train street. It was really good. Well, I think it's just made of instead of regular milk, they put coconut milk.
oh,
It's good.
well, that sounds kind of.
Yep.
I try it. I'm coffee. Once you say coffee, that I'm already there. So did you sleep while on the train, or you just sitting there talking with your friends?
No, well, we took an overnight bus, not a train, to Laos.
All right, so tell me this. So in every
Uh, well, not in Vietnam. No, not in Vietnam. They knew I was a Filipino. I don't know why. Yeah, yeah. Your video froze. I don't know if it's just on my end or. Yeah, I can hear you, but the video is frozen. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We do look like. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's just cute. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Eyeliner? No. So I was buying so this was after I just got out of the hotel. Um, and I was going out to explore. I dropped by this little shop that sells SIM cards. Um, everything's cheap. Like even their SIM cards, like even if I was just going to use it for like under 6 hours in Hanoi and then for a day in Ho Chi Minh. Yeah. Hmm. Yep. Still frozen. Oh, one that says, yeah, I can hear you. Yes. Still frozen, but I can hear you. Oh, it's back.
Downloading games and shit. Uh, I'm still, I'm still, I'm still live. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna log back, log out, log because that's gonna take me out of the stream. That,
Okay, good.
but all right.
Carlton says audio zooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought a sim from this little shop, and the guy, um, so I asked him, well, no, I hadn't spoken a word, and then just when I got in, um, uh, he asked, I don't remember if he said if I was from the Philippines or if I was like Filipina. Um, so then, yeah, I said, yes, how did you know? And he was just laughing. And he offered me and he asked if I wanted to get a SIM. But your video's frozen again. No, I was wearing shoes. Slippers, flip flops. Said in flip flops. Yeah, your video was frozen again. No. Content says your audio and video are frozen again. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that is the, so when I asked him how he knew I was Filipina, and he just laughed and he said, I just know. I don't know how. So yeah, I got a SIM from him, had it set up on my phone, and then I went to go get try the bun cha, and then went to Train Street. After that, I went back to my hotel, took a shower, and then checked out. And this was like, so I checked in like 9 a.m. and I checked out like around 1, before 1, because their checkout time it was 12. And I just asked the reception if I could, extend it for a bit. Um, and I before heading back to the hotel, I went to book the overnight bus. Are you still there, Maha? Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I booked the overnight bus. Um, which turned out to be, the longest bus ride of my life. It was supposed to be like, so it left like 3 p.m. and it was supposed to arrive in Laos, in Luang Prabang, um, at like 6 a.m. There was a sleeper bus, but no, I didn't see any chicken coop, no chickens or no live animals. Um, so yeah, that's where I met the other solo travelers, female travelers, and so it was the longest bus ride because so it was supposed to arrive in Laos at 6 a.m. and by 6 a.m. Yeah, so by 6 a.m. we were just um at the Vietnam Lao border, and well, no, it was even later than that, because I remember we waited. Hmm? Yeah, and put stamps on. They put stamps on the passport, so just like a regular, immigration thing. Yeah, so everyone has to get off the bus. Yeah, so they have two different immigration buildings at the border. So first, the exit border from Vietnam, and then a few like uh, maybe 100, 200 meters from the exit border of Vietnam. That's where the entry border for Laos is. And yeah, that took a long time. Yeah, so that took a long time because one of the passengers, I think, had some problems with their visa, and they had to call some people to fix it. I don't know what they did, but after like an hour, 45, an hour to an hour and a half, we got through and we got to yeah. So everyone had to wait. Yeah, because it's not like a regular. Yeah, I mean, it's not like like a regular bus that has scheduled trips. So it's like private buses that you know that they have their own booking and all that. So every seat is reserved. So yeah, that person couldn't just you know we could just leave her and then she could take a bus from another bus from there. I don't think that's how it works. The video is frozen, but I can hear you. Yeah. Mm-mm. Okay. Mm, no. I don't know if they can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I made friends on the bus, and some of us uh got off at the station in Laos, where we took the train going to Luang Prabang. Yeah, I'm on the chest. Your video and audio are so frozen. Mm, mm. So anyway, so um, we took the train. So after the almost 24-hour bus ride, we took the train to Luang Prabang. It just took like an hour going there, and it was the Laos China Railway. Um, yeah, it's a pretty modern train. Um, and like had to you had to book the tickets online. Get the e-passes and all that. Um, so yeah, Luang Prabang is like my favorite place in Laos. It's more of the nature. Um, if you love nature, which I do, um, yeah, I think that's the place for you. So they have different waterfalls. Um, I took the Mekong River cruise, and the cruise went to the cave with 1,000 Buddha statues. I think I showed you that, right? So yeah, so we went to that cave, and then we went to rice wine. So there's this village, which is known for making rice wines. So we stopped by it. They showed us how they make the rice wines. We tried them, and uh, yeah, the next day, so I stayed there for like 3 days. On the second day, I went to the waterfalls. Yeah, in Luang Prabang. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So on the next day, I went to the waterfalls. Um. And then the third day, uh, early in the morning, I decided to, because the place where I stayed at had motorcycles and bicycles for rent. So I rented out one of the bicycles, and early in the morning, um, hmm? So they had the early in the morning, like four, um, 4 or 5 a.m. They have the ritual, daily ritual with the monks, where they give. Yeah, so this was before sunrise. Um, so I joined that ritual where we gave out food, um, food and drinks to the monks. So um, people would wait by outside their temples, and the monks would just, like have a they they fall in line and then just get all the food that people give them. Mm. Yeah, I know that that Friendship Bridge is the border between the northern part of Thailand and Vientiane. I don't know. I didn't go to the bridge because I flew out of Vientiane. I didn't take the bus. Yeah. So Luang Prabang is more like in the northern part of Laos. So it's nearer to Vietnam than it is to, Vientiane. Yeah, Nong Khai. No. Someone that says Thai. Yeah, he was. Someone that says Thai Laos. Yes, in Nong Khai to Vientiane. Yes, Nong Khai. Someone that says I really like Laos. Yeah, I do too. I think it's one of my favorites. Um, so from So we did that ritual where we gave out food to the monks. Um, so by the time the sun was up, I rented out the bike and just explored the town. Got some coffee, breakfast, and I checked out different temples as well, and I lost track of time, and I missed my so everything, well, almost everything from that trip was pre-booked. I booked the train rides, the flights, and all that ahead of time. Um, so I missed the train ride from Luang Prabang going to Vientiane. Um, because originally I was going to take the train from Vientiane um to Bangkok. So by missing the train from Luang Prabang to Vientiane, I was going to miss the train to Bangkok as well. Um, so yeah, I wasted two train tickets um, because of that. So yeah, it was a 9 a.m. schedule from Luang Prabang to Vientiane that I missed, and the next train at I think it was 1 p.m. was fully booked, so I couldn't get on that. And the last trip that day was at like 5 p.m. And that's the one where I got to, get a ticket for. So I arrived in Vientiane around 7 or 8. And the train going to Bangkok leaves at 6. So I totally missed it. And so I booked a flight instead, the last minute flight the next day from Vientiane to Bangkok. Um, and I just found a place, to stay overnight, shower, um, and left early the next day for Bangkok. This still in Laos in Vientiane, so I flew from Vientiane to Bangkok instead of taking the train. So it was supposed to be an overnight train that passes through Nong Khai, the town that Moonlit mentioned. So yeah, the next day I flew instead. Hmm. Yeah, I needed to be in Bangkok in the morning the next day because my flight going to Myanmar was um, in the early afternoon. So, I couldn't afford to just wait for another train, another overnight train to go to Bangkok. Um, yeah, unless, the solo travelers I met on the bus, they were traveling for like at least 2 months, and they stayed at every town for at least a week. Um, so yeah, but in my case, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my dream. But in my case, um, I just traveled for less than 2 weeks, like 12 days. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, because my original plan was to get to Bangkok um, from the train ride at 6 a.m. Um, and from 6 a.m. I still had time to drop by Ayutthaya because, my flight to Myanmar was at 2 or 3 p.m. So yeah, I still had until noon to check it out. But the Yeah, well, I didn't go that day. I went, when I got back to Bangkok from Myanmar. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, since I ended up missing my train, I booked a flight, and the flight was like from 8 to 9 a.m. And I was thinking 9 a.m. was, I didn't want to risk missing my flight to Myanmar, so I didn't go to Ayutthaya and just roamed around uh, Bangkok, the Bangkok airport, the bigger one. Um, because yeah, from VNT, from Laos to Bangkok, it was at it arrived at the smaller airport, the Don Muang airport, but the flight going to Myanmar was from the bigger airport, the one um where we arrived, Suvarnabhumi or something. But yeah, I told you right. It was Yeah, BKK. The AirAsia flight from Laos was through DMK. So yeah, I told you BKK was. I realized it was that day that it was huge, right? Because um, but for some reason, I don't know. I like that airport because it was, even though it was huge, it was easy to navigate. Like, um, the signs were everywhere. You know, wherever you needed to go, you would find the directions everywhere. So I didn't have a hard time, finding my boarding gates, finding food, the restrooms, and all that. Um, so yeah, the afternoon I flew to Myanmar, and it was just an hour flight. But I think since it was a flagship carrier, Myanmar Airways, we had a free meal. Um, it was just like a piece of pastry, and I had some coffee. Um, but that's it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I got to Yangon in Myanmar, um, like around 5 p.m. and the overnight bus going. Mm, yeah, so originally it was not in my itinerary, until you brought it up, and I did some looking and found out that um, well, Filipino tourists had been so many Filipino tourists had gone there since, like 2023 until last year. So there were I saw a bunch of posts, and yeah, since you I didn't really want to go, um, but because of you, I squeezed it in my itinerary. But it was, I mean, you could tell that there was an ongoing um thing, like it wasn't like a normal atmosphere there. So you could tell because there are checkpoints everywhere. Um, and my tour guide uh warned me not to, like take pictures everywhere, because they might think I'm a journalist. So I'm only allowed to take pictures at the tourist spots. I think it would. It would for any nationality, I think. It just follow the cautionary measure that my my tour guide told me. Yep, video is frozen, but I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Contrarian is still online. I can hear him, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear him. So yeah, I'm glad you um you made me you made me consider going to Myanmar because it was, as you know, it's my favorite among the different places that I uh visited on this trip. So I went straight upon arriving in Yangon. Moonlit says your audio is out, but he can kind of hear you through my speaker. Yeah. But anyway, so I arrived around 5 p.m. in Yangon. So it was at least a 10-hour um bus ride from Yangon to Bagan, and so I took the overnight bus, which left at 7 p.m. And yeah, I got to Bagan before sunrise. And Bagan was the place in Myanmar that was on my uh, go-to list because I've seen pictures of it, sunset pictures with the uh, silhouettes of temples, hundreds of temples, and um, hot air balloons. So yeah, I've been wanting to go there for years. Um, so yeah, when I got there, my tour guide, she met me at the yeah. So you can find her on Facebook. Um, her name, let me see, her Facebook name is Myanmar Tour Guide Nui Nui, spelled as Nway. So Myanmar Tour Guide Nui Nui. That's her Facebook name. Um, so she toured me. So I had the option of touring with her motorbike or a car. Since I was alone in the car, and a car was more expensive than the motorbike, I booked the motorbike tour. Uh, it was totally safe. Hmm? Yes, but for men, men would have to uh drive their own motorbike. You could rent it. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because she says if the driver, yeah, because she says if the driver is a woman, she can't take, you know, she can take a guy with her unless it's her husband. Hmm? He's saying unless it's oh, I haven't seen her. I haven't seen the new Lizzo. Oh, okay. Anyway, yes. I don't want to. He says the tour guide can't um I can take a guy as a passenger on your motorbike unless wait, what did you say? Unless it's unless she's the size of old Lizzo. Or no, I think okay, yeah. She can take a woman unless the tourist is the size of old Lizzo. It's just her husband. But if the tourist with her, yeah. Huh? Yeah. I said um I said women there can't take can't drive a motorbike and take a guy as the passenger unless it's their husband. Moonlit asked, "What's the punishment for that? That seems strict." I don't know. I didn't ask what the punishment was, but yeah, she did mention that she would get flagged down if you know she took a man with her. That's not her husband. So for guy tourists, they would have to rent out their own motorbike and tour with her. But it was safe. And there were only few um, four-wheel cars and few motorbikes all day. So just us two. Yeah, and the other tourists that I saw at the temples were locals. But I saw one um, tourist at the hotel where I left my, my backpack, all my stuff at. Um, there was he was a European guy that was there, but I think we were only the two guests at the place at the time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would too. And that, uh, hmm, I was just there for entire day because I arrived 5 p.m. the day before and I went straight to Bagan, arrived there the next day and toured the entire day. And I took the overnight bus again back to Yangon on the third day. So just one full day. Well, 3 days, 2 nights. Both nights were, I was on an overnight bus. But I still booked my hotel for the first night and just checked in, the morning I arrived in again. We took a shower, took a nap, and we started touring at 9 a.m. So I got there. The bus arrived like at 5 a.m. So I checked in, took a nap, and then took a shower, left my stuff there, um, at their storage room, um, and I just took it back before I got back to the bus station for the overnight trip. Hmm? Oh no, two different people. Yeah, so I have this video of two kids, two little kids, selling a candy. Yeah, well, they were tamarind candies, and the other one was selling keychains. And I had no extra money left. Um, 'Cause yeah, I still had to, keep money for my food the next day at the airport. Um, for the taxi ride going to the airport. Um, for my dinner that night. Uh, so yeah, because I felt guilty not being able to, buy something from the kids. So I just gave them my leftover Skittles. I think there were like six or so, because I gave three of them like three Skittles each. Yeah. Yeah, so the kids were selling candies and keychains, and their father sold sand paintings. Um, yeah, the paintings were beautiful. I bought two, and he originally I was going to just get uh, the one I saw in pictures from years back. They were the hot air balloons sunset during the sunset, and with the silhouette of uh, the temples, because that's exactly what I saw in the pictures before. So I bought a painting of that, and I also got the a painting of face of Buddha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I bought the paintings first, because what happened was when we arrived at that particular temple, I saw the paintings first. The kids weren't there. So I got the two paintings and then went into the temple. And when we got out, that's when the kids, you know, um, started walking towards me and offered me those stuff that they were selling. So at first, I didn't have any extra money left to buy anything from them because I spent it on the paintings. Mm, yeah, not yet. I mean, I was thinking I could just go withdraw money again from the airport because there were no ATMs in again. Um, but I was worried about, if anything happens during the overnight trip, I didn't want to be out of local currency, so I didn't really want to spend it and spend any more of it. No, no. I mean, as I had money in my account, but I didn't have the local currency at the time because I withdrew from the airport when I arrived. But yeah, that was my again was my favorite um place among the Indochina places that I visited because every direction, everywhere I looked, there were hundreds of temples, thousands actually. Um, so they have these temples called stupas. Um, stupas are like the more of like I don't know what it would be like in English. So therefore, monks who died. So they're not shrines, but you would see um like little temples, little shrines in random places everywhere. So yeah, she said those are for dead monks, and then you have the um okay, yeah, yeah, I saw that. Yep. Yeah, we even visited some temples that were uh that looked sideways, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, because of uh earthquakes, and some were even you could see the renovations because they were damaged from previous earthquakes. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't UNESCO have because it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I think they would put some money into restoring those. I think. Well, I'm not sure, but I would assume they would. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so we visited like at least 10 temples that day. Um, but yeah, during the motorbike rides, um, you'd see hundreds of them everywhere. And Yeah. The one in um Vietnam didn't. It was the worst bathroom um that I've been in. Um, so it was, yeah. Um, Mr. Contrarian's asking what the bathroom situation was like for in those countries. Um, so yeah, the one bathroom in uh Vietnam. I think it was still in Vietnam because when I took the overnight bus from Hanoi to Laos, it was before midnight when we had the bus stop, and yeah, so I needed to go to the bathroom, and even if, like several meters from the entrance to the bathroom, it was stinking, and it was all dirty, and they had, I don't know if they had regular regular toilet bowls, but the cubicle that I yeah, I do. I have wet wipe and tissue. Um, and of course, sanitizer, alcohol. And so yeah, the cubicle that I used didn't have the regular toilet bowl. So you have to squat. Hmm. Yeah, so I had to squat, and so I had to squat, and your video is still frozen. Yes, on my end. Yeah. So I don't know if it was just in that cubicle, but there was no water, no flush. It's tank. Um, but yeah, good thing I had wet wipes and tissue. But I just did number one. And before I went to the bathroom, I was hungry, but after peeing, I just lost appetite, and I couldn't eat until the next day, until you know, um, we got to Laos. Yeah, yeah. But the restrooms in the other places, they were okay. It's just that one particular bathroom. I think it's in the yeah, yeah, Yep. Yeah, anyway, so um, after touring the entire day in Bagan, so I took the overnight bus back to Yangon, um, and flew back to Bangkok the next day. Um, no, I didn't. Because remember, um, the flight from Vientiane in Laos to Bangkok uh, was from 8 to 9 a.m. and my flight from Bangkok to Yangon was at 3 p.m. Yeah, so I didn't want to risk missing the Myanmar flight. So I didn't go to Ayutthaya that day. Because from DMK Airport to Ayutthaya it would take at least like 2 hours or an hour and a half by train. And yeah, and I still had to go back um, through the same train line for at least 2 hours to get to BKK airport. So that's like 3.5 hours just for the train ride alone. Um, so yeah, I didn't go to Ayutthaya that day. But from my after my Myanmar to Bangkok trip in the morning. Well, no. Let me see. So from Bagan, I took the overnight bus back to Yangon, and from Yangon, the flight was at noon, I think. Yeah, because I had to wait for several hours at the airport in Yangon, and I arrived back in Bangkok in the afternoon. So that's when I did my laundry. I was in Bangkok. Hmm. Yeah. So when I got to back to Bangkok, um, I stayed there. Let's see, arrived in the afternoon, did my laundry in the evening, and the next morning that's when I went to Ayutthaya. So I got up early, took the train to Ayutthaya, and toured for like half a day until noon. Um, because I had to go back to Bangkok again um, for the uh, trip going to Cambodia. So, where in Ayutthaya? Yeah, I checked out a few temples. Um, since I only had like a few hours, I visited like three, three temples, nearby temples. Um, right around the train station. But if you would like to visit all of Italy, that would take at least a day. If you need an entire day for it. They also, because I looked it up, they also have river cruise. That would go to the main temples. Um, and there were also, so you could hire a tuk-tuk or rent a motorbike or or a bicycle um, to to tour around. But after, I don't know, after seeing the temples in Myanmar, because that totally um, exceeded my expectations. When I got to, yeah, yeah. So after seeing the, yep, Angkor Wat, well, it didn't look bad, but all the people made it look bad because there were just lots of people. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Which one? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I toured around Ayutthaya for just a few hours and got back to Bangkok before noon. Um, and I pre-booked a van going to Cambodia, and the trip from Bangkok to Cambodia it was at least 6 hours. Because we got to um, I was like Siem Reap. There, I was thinking about the name of the city. We got to Siem Reap in the evening, and yes, that's where Angkor Wat is. Yeah, so it's closer to Bangkok. Siem Reap is in between Bangkok and Phnom Penh. Mm, mm. Yeah, because some of the places um, in Siem Reap accepted baht, um, but um, they prefer USD. Even yeah, in Thailand, the person at the laundry shop talked to me in Thai. Um, yeah, Mm, yeah, maybe. Mm. So yeah, I I got to CME, and that night, my tour guide. So I found this tour guide on book from the Filipino travel group. So he has toured a bunch of Filipinos. He's highly recommended. So I contacted him, and he was free that day. So I mean for the next day. So he took um my reservation. So he picked me up at the bus station, and it was funny because he knew a lot of Tagalog words, um, even Tagalog slangs and colloquial terms. Uh, he's a funny guy. But yeah, so he toured me around Siem Reap the next day. Um, we had the sunrise tour in Angkor Wat, so we left. To pick me up at at my hostel early in the morning, like 4 a.m., 4:30. And our first stop was Angkor Wat. We waited for the sunrise. There were hundreds of other people waiting for the sunrise too. Um, yeah, so Angkor Wat was huge, but I didn't enjoy it as much because of the number of people. Um, I think yeah, but it's different there because there's you would be walking by a large number of groups with tour guides. They're speaking different languages, some in English, the tour guides in speaking in English, some are speaking in Spanish, German, other languages that I could not understand. But yeah, they came in large groups. Um, Plus the solo travelers, the couples, it was I don't know, it was chaotic. So I didn't enjoy it that much. I just, followed the yeah. Um so I wanted to take pictures of, some spots. 'Cause, I like taking pictures. Um not of myself, but of the sites that I see. So there were some spots that I wanted uh, to take a shot of, but there was always someone, at least one person, blocking the view, or like, I don't know, I just didn't really like the crowd there. Um, but yeah, so we went to um the other example where Tomb Raider was filmed, and I think I sent you the picture with the tree, picture of the roots of the old tree. Do you remember that picture? Hmm. Um, yeah, that tour was for an entire day, and I don't remember if yeah, so um, I extended my stay at the hostel for another day because I originally booked only booked for a night, and I booked another night as the van the van going to Ho Chi Minh um, was leaving that night, so I extended my stay so I could leave my bags while I toured um, Siem Reap, and had to take a shower after. But the van left at around right before midnight to Phnom Penh, and I can't remember how long that trip was, but when we got to Phnom Penh, we had to try. Sorry, huh? Yeah, yeah, because I was flying out of Ho Chi Minh back to Manila. Yeah, because originally I was going to arrive um arrive in Ho Chi Minh like on the 11th day. So I had um 2 days and one night in Ho Chi Minh, but because of the missed train and all the adjustments, I had to, and squeezing in Myanmar in my itinerary. Um, I arrived in Ho Chi Minh the same day of my flight, so I arrived there on the 12th day, and so we got to. Hmm? Yeah, so on the way to Ho Chi Minh, um, the bus stopped at this place for lunch. And so yeah, I saw the drivers were eating pho, so I tried it. It was a huge, it was a big meal. I had this huge bowl of pho and okay.
God.
Oh, your video's
No,
back.
your video's back. I know it just said went live, so I don't know.
Now I
I don't
can't
know
hear
what. No, I
you.
can't hear you. You can't hear me? Oh no. Well, we can wrap it up here. Just um, hold up. Just finish telling them about your trip.
Yeah, so I had my first bowl of pho um in Ho Chi Minh, and
Can you hear me?
yeah, I still can't hear you. But yeah, I read your message. Um, now I'm hearing loud feedback. I can hear myself echoing. Um, yeah, I can still hear echoes. Anyways, I had my first bowl of pho in Ho Chi Minh. It was really good. I just, I just didn't expect that it was going to be like a big bowl with a huge chunk of meat and all these different vegetables. I didn't finish it. Uh, but I like the broth. Um, but yeah, when I got to Ho Chi Minh early in the afternoon, like around 2, my flight was at 10 p.m. that night. Um, I found this new hostel. Well, I figured it was new, this um, the, the building and um, everything modern and new. So I booked it for like less than $10. They had the Yeah, so they had the 8 hour stay. And I think uh, Agoda has that option, like the day use option. You're going to just stay for a few hours. So I tried it out, and yeah, I found that hostel. And I really liked it. This for under $10. It's very bad. Um, I got to take a shower, and they had buffet at dinner. I think I told you about that, right? Yeah, so well, the food was good. Um, and I also went to so the only place that I visited in Ho Chi Minh was the cafe apartment. So it's a building um, which had several cafes. Um, so I just tried the egg coffee in one of the cafes there. But I like the coconut coffee better than the egg coffee. Um, yeah, after
Did you
that,
bring
I
back anything?
went straight to the airport and flew back home.
Did you bring back anything?
I can't hear.
Oh, it's okay.
Mm,
So just finished telling them.
I don't know what you're saying. Message me. Okay, so yeah, that was Ho Chi Minh was my last stop. And I brought throughout the trip, I brought several souvenirs with me. In Tagalog, we call them pasalubong. Um, So, in Vietnam, well, I got Vietnamese coffee. Uh, a souvenir from Laos was um, scarves and rice wine. And from Myanmar, well, I got the paintings. And my tour guide uh, got me these tamarind candies. And in Bangkok, I don't think I've got anything from Bangkok since I had the souvenirs from our honeymoon. And the ones from Cambodia are just fridge magnets. Oh, that's it.
Um,
So being alone in those countries, well, I felt safe. I never had an instance where I felt unsafe. Because even if, like taxi drivers, this was in Myanmar, by the way. When I was at the bus station um, in Yangon, I was booking just they have Grab there, so I was booking my Grab ride back to the airport. And all these taxi drivers were offering to take me. But yeah, with several drivers, they were looking a bit over in front of me, looking at myself, booking my flight. Um, and they were like, we have the same. They were saying, we can offer you the same price or even cheaper. Just book a ride with us. Um, but the price that they mentioned didn't have enough cash for. So my only choice was to book online, and my debit card is linked to my Grab application, so I had no choice but to book a Grab. Um, yeah, so I just told them I had no enough cash to pay them, and they weren't they weren't pushy or anything. But yeah, that was the only time when men um kept insisting.
so you
Among
can
it,
hear me, Monique?
when it says video and audio is perfect for big, small effort, but it's good. But I can hear you for some reason.
You can hear me. Uh-oh. So, there we go. I can't hear you. So now I can't hear her, guys. Can you hear her? So I can, but it's through her mic. Uh, so now now her audio has crashed. This happens in live streams, guys. This is and it happens at all levels, no matter how. Oh, I can hear you now. Oh, oh,
I can hear you.
oh, I can hear you too. You can hear me? the old phone commercial. What he used to say? He said, "Can you hear me now?"
Yeah, I never
But
felt
yeah. Yeah, I
unsafe
never felt unsafe
in
in
those
You said
countries.
except for a taxi driver.
Hmm?
You said except for a taxi driver. You said you felt safe except for a taxi
I
driver.
can't hear you
I
again.
can't hear you again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your overall recommendations for your overall like outlook of the trip? Can you hear me? He can hear roosters, so he can hear you.
Look and hear the roosters from our neighbor. Overall,
Well,
you know about the trip.
about the trip.
Um,
Um,
well, it was
it was
fulfilling.
fulfilling.
Yeah, I wanted to do
Yeah,
it
I wanted to
solo.
do it solo.
Although
Although
felt
felt
uh,
uh,
too rushed for me.
rushed
Like,
for me.
if
Like
I had
if I had
the choice, I would
the
have
choice, I
stayed,
would have stayed,
several days at
several
each
days at each
place that I
place
visited.
that I visited.
But other than
Other
that,
than that,
it was, yeah, it was very
yeah, it
fun.
was very fun.
It was how
It was how
I
I
dreamed it to be.
dreamed it to be. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
confused
can
it.
hear still. You can. So will you be giving us a video that I can upload once you get some time? Oh, I think she's frozen. Uh, Moonlit, can you hear me? Oh, you're back. I think you were frozen for a second, or you went to answer the. Hoi, hoi. Is she? I don't know if she's frozen. Or, I don't know if she's frozen or I'm sorry, guys, for all the technical problems. If I don't know who can hear me, I don't know if she can hear me, or if I don't know the chat room if you guys can hear me. But sorry for the technical glitches. This happens anytime you're doing a live stream where you're sharing, you're sharing the screen with guests. It always invites technical problems because it's different audio stuff going on between each system. And then, especially if you're in two different locations, that makes it even worse. We're in two different locations using two different uh, internet connectivity platforms, so that leads to that. But it might be a Wi-Fi thing. Um,
Yeah, I
it
can hear you
happens
now.
to the best live streamers. Okay. I was saying let's just wrap it up. Maybe
Okay.
get your overall impression and what you recommend for
Yeah, going to Indochina is highly recommended. Um, especially Vietnam and Laos. Um, it's super cheap. But Myanmar the most.
Did you go back to
Has the
Vietnam?
most beautiful spots for me. But I don't know, here's the after the earthquake.
If anything, I would say after the earthquake, you should go just to be able to help the people out, the locals. I think tourism would help with with renovation to those places because if those governments see that there is a demand for tourists to come to those places, they will probably be more willing to invest in renovation. Does that make sense?
Can't hear you anymore.
Huh.
I couldn't hear parts of what you said.
I was saying that um, with the earthquake that struck that whole region, I said it seemed like it would be actually important for tourists to show their support by going to those places. That way, the local governments would probably be more motivated to invest in renovation, and it becomes a positive feedback. Like people come there to support them, which brings more money, which motivates the government to renovate, which then brings more people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Becomes a positive feedback. But definitely, I hope all those people are doing well. I'm glad your tour guide is safe.
Yeah. I think the message that she sent me is like a copy pasted message that she sent to everyone, probably lots of other um
People probably checked
tourists
it.
that she yeah a message
That's a
for.
good thing. That means she has a lot of people that support her. That's good. That's a good thing. But anyway, let's wrap it up because this the technical glitches and it's almost 1 o'clock here.
Okay. Okay.
I know you want to go eat. I know how you are.
Yeah, such that
I know. Let me see your T-shirt. Pac-Man. What you know about Pac-Man?
I can't hear you, but I'm still
Is it your T-shirt? Your T-shirt.
my shirt.
Pac-Man.
What about it?
Pac-Man.
Yeah, backgrounds.
Yeah,
The one that
the
says
one
you
that
might go
says you
live
might go
in
live
a few
in
minutes.
a few minutes. It's kind of late for me. It's like 1 o'clock. I didn't even plan on being on this late, to be honest. But because we had glitches, it kind of, you know, made it later than what I wanted it to be. But I'm going to go. Um, you about to go eat? I'm gonna hit you up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Love you, my love.
Bye, viewers.
Bye, viewers. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gone. Chat room. If you guys want to show us some support, um, please you can show me support through dropping a super thanks or the Cash App is in the handle. I mean the sorry the the Cash App is in the description, or you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. That link is in the description as well. Thanks for everyone who watched. Sorry about the technical glitches, but we're on two different we're in two different places right now. So that's probably what led to like the glitches, because anytime you do like a live stream where you got guests on, it kind of messes things up. So sorry about that. I might try to join Moonlit, but it's a little too late for me already. It's well 12:50 on my end, and I didn't even plan on being up this late. And Mrs. Contrarian just said the rooster on her end was so noisy. It really was. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Thank you for everyone who watched. Um, and people watching this on replay. I hope it's not too glitchy for you. I apologize. But that was Mrs. Contrarian giving us a wrap up of her trip through Indochina, which was Laos, um, Vietnam, Thailand, Burma, aka Myanmar, and Cambodia. So that was her trip. And then we talked briefly about her trip last year to Singapore to go see Taylor Swift, and she ended up staying there for like a whole week. Well, almost a whole week, like 5 days. Then went to through Malaysia on her way back to the Philippines. Um, and this was a trip, and this she's been planning for literally years, probably before we even got together. It was originally scheduled for 2020. Then the pandemic happened, so we had to scrap that. And then we tried to reschedule it like 2 or 3 times back in 2020, but the pandemic kept going. Like, if people remember back in 2020, we thought the pandemic was only going to last a few months. Remember, they was telling everyone to stay inside. 3 months later, it was still going on. Another 3 months is still going on. It went on until 2022. Even though even in 2022, a lot of countries were still doing a lot of precautions. So really, so globally, it didn't end until like I'm gonna say 2023. Although here in most other places, it was 2022. So we tried to book all those times. Then she ended up uh, refunding that ticket. Tried to go in 2022. That got messed up. Then she was originally supposed to go last year, but that was around the same time that she was going to Singapore for the Taylor Swift concert. And then she finally did it just now, like 3.5 weeks ago. So there you go. Hopefully she's gonna cobble together all of her video footage, and I'm gonna upload it here so you guys can actually see the stuff that she was talking about in this live stream. All right, but that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Take care. Peace. And thank you again for Carlton for the super chat.